What do you get when you mix teenage prodigies, laser weapons, a bag of popcorn big enough to kill a man, and Val Kilmer at peak sarcastic brilliance? No, it's not a fever dream cooked up by a bored Cold War weapons contractor. It's real genius. This is Pat, and welcome to Please Rewind. Released in 1985 and directed by Martha Coolidge, yes, a woman directed one of the most testosterone-free, emotionally intelligent teen films of the 1980s, Real Genius is often lumped in with other college comedies or underdog nerd flicks of the decade. But under the prank wars and popcorn explosions, there's a real warning here. A movie about how brilliance is exploited, about how the systems that reward genius are often the very systems that weaponize it. And at the center of it all, that one line.
When you're smart, people need you.
Let's talk about what Real Genius is really about. Real Genius starts like any teen flick might. A young prodigy named Mitch is plucked from his high school and dropped into a top-secret research program under the charismatic wing of Chris Knight, played by Val Kilmer, in a performance that's part Ferris Bueller, a little Bugs Bunny, and honestly kind of reminds me of a young Brad Pitt before Brad Pitt was Brad Pitt. But from the jump, something's off. This isn't just a school for gifted kids. It's a front for military R&D. These students aren't studying for exams. They're building a laser weapon. A weapon they don't even know they're building. Genius in this world is currency. And if you have it, someone's going to spend you. That's what the line really means. When you're smart, people need you. For what? For their agenda. For money. For a drone strike. Real Genius isn't anti-intellectual. It's anti-exploitation. It's about how systems wrap themselves around intelligence and drain it dry. But let's give credit where it's due. This is a teen comedy directed by Martha Coolidge, who also directed Valley Girl. And that matters, because this movie has an emotional intelligence. It doesn't glorify frat boy cruelty. Even the romantic subplot with the character of Jordan is handled with grace. There's no sexualizing of female characters in the story, which I really like, and for the most part, all these guys are pretty respectable, realistic, modern characters. Coolidge builds a world where the intelligence doesn't mean superiority. It means a difference. A difference is vulnerable. This movie's about misfits, but it doesn't punish them for being misfits. There's no makeover scene, no moralizing about fitting in. If anything, the movie's message is, don't conform, because the people asking you to conform probably have a missile with your name on it.
Someone tells him that the stuff that he was making was killing people.
So what's your point? Are you saying that I'm gonna end up in a steam tunnel?
Yeah,
What?
you are.
I love Val Kilmer in this movie. If this movie had been made with any other actor except, obviously, Brad Pitt, like maybe 5 years later, Chris Knight could have been a disaster. Smug, arrogant, the guy who peaked at 19 and sells crypto now. Maybe a little too Van Wilder. But Kilmer walks the tightrope pretty well. His Chris Knight is brilliant, but he's bored. Weaponized, but rebellious. He's a guy who realized the system was using him, and decided to play dumb to stay sane. His pranks aren't just for fun, they're sabotage. Resistance via humiliation. Like, you want my genius? Cool. Here's a frozen hallway. Here's your house filled with popcorn. Here's a laser turned on you. He fights back the only way a genius can in a rigged system, by making the system look ridiculous. Also, this movie has one of the all-time great 80s asshole villain characters, played by William Atherton, who you will know from Ghostbusters, where he also played an absolute jerk, and then of course Die Hard, where he played a jerk. To be fair to the guy, if you go back to his 70s work, like Sugarland Express or Day of the Locust, he was a pretty good, handsome, charming leading man. But clearly in the 80s, he found his groove as a prick. Then we have Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite himself in this movie, young with a beard and long hair. He plays a guy that's the smartest of the group and is hiding underneath the college, inside the walls. He's got this mathematic equation where he's going to win a contest with beer. And the cool thing about the movie is it works. And then, of course, we have Robert Prescott as Kent. Just one of the early versions of that. It's a blonde guy who wears glasses, that is a suck-up teacher's pet that hates the guys that are better than him in a story. It's kind of nerd-on-nerd violence in this movie. It's pretty interesting. It's got religious allegories. They pretend to be God at one point to trick a guy, which is really funny and also weird. I've never really seen something like that in a movie before. Visually interesting. A lot of these things sound comedic because Real Genius is a comedy, but it's also deeply paranoid. Before movies like Enemy of the State, Black Mirror, Real Genius quietly gave us a world where students are unknowingly working for the NSA, where surveillance is baked into academia, and where breakthroughs in physics are immediately monetized for violence. This is Cold War America, where funding for education increasingly came with military strings attached, where the line between a lab and a weapons factory got blurrier every year, and where intelligence wasn't nurtured, it was harvested. The adults in this film, they're either clueless, complicit, or corrupted. The only pure figures are the kids, and even they have to grow up fast when they realize the stakes. That's kind of the thing about this movie. It's secretly sort of epic, and about a lot of things. It has a lot of big ideas. It has a lot of big concepts, even visually. It's kind of more ambitious than it seems at the beginning. But all of this going on, the teen hijinks, the 80s montages, how does it all end? With popcorn. A literal house-flooding avalanche of popcorn. And with the song that couldn't be more perfect. Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. The laser, the symbol of their brilliance, is turned on the corrupt professor. His home explodes in delicious, ridiculous fashion. But why popcorn? Because it's absurd. Because it's harmless. Because it feeds people, not kills them. And because it's fun. This is Real Genius's thesis, I think. I don't know, I've watched this movie my entire life. I remember it as a little kid. I'm in my 30s now, but I think I have it figured out. If you're going to build something brilliant, make sure it feeds people, not burns the world down. I don't think the use of the song is ironic. I think it's a warning. Everybody does want to rule the world, but not everybody should. Because if we don't protect our geniuses, if we don't let them be playful, weird, subversive, then someone else will put them to work, and someone else will weaponize them. Real Genius isn't just a teen movie. It's not just Val Kilmer being hot and smart and insufferably cool. He's like the coolest person ever in this movie. It's a warning wrapped in a joke, a prophecy and a prank, a popcorn-coated rebellion against a world that sees intelligence not as a gift but as a tool. It's very punk in that way. And in a time we're once again watching technology outpace our ethics, Real Genius might be more relevant now than I think it was in 1985. So yeah, everybody wants to rule the world. But maybe the real geniuses are the ones who just want to blow it up and have fun. I think that's what I really like about it. It's about intelligent people. It's about serious things. You could read into it too much, which I probably am, but it's also telling you, like, hey, have a good time. And every time I watch Real Genius, I do.